For this beginner reformer class, all you're going to need is a ball as one of your props and then a box towards the end. We'll be going through full body movements, and especially as a beginner, go slow, make sure that you connect with each movement, pay attention to your form. I'll give you cues along the way, just so you can really get the most out of your workout. Okay, let's go ahead and get started. First position, I have my foot bar flat. I'll be placing the ball between the knees. From that position, I'll be in a 4-point. So I want to start connecting with my spine, just really feeling a little bit of this squeeze through my inner thighs with the ball to help me connect to pelvic floor and through my center. As I breathe out, I'm going to think about tucking my head and as well as tucking my tail. Cat position. As I inhale, I gently pull through. Cow position. Now notice what's happening. As you breathe and create this shape again, we're going to be tucking the pelvis forward and really feeling this lower abdominal wall kick in. As you come through into your cow, we're opening up through the abs, relaxing through the throat and taking that forward. So go slow. It's an exhale to round. Inhale to extend. And just warming up the spine, noticing a little squeeze on that ball. And opening through. Let's go 2 more. Exhale, squeeze on the ball, rounding the spine, tucking the tail, dipping the head, and opening through. Last one. Scoop and round. And inhaling through. Excellent job. So now that we have come into more connection with our body, let's remove the ball to the side briefly. We're going to make sure that we have enough spring on the reformer for your footwork. So each of you are different with your reformers at home or in your studio. For my Allegro 2 here, I'm going to have all 3 red as well as a blue and a yellow spring. And that to me is just a typical footwork spring tension for myself. Now with this reformer, it does come with gears for my foot bar. So for me and my body, I'll move my bar up to my height, coming around to the front here. So the Allegro 2, you can bring it forward into another gear so it's actually closer to your body for your footwork series. And for me, because I'm petite, that works great. Lift up, draw down. So now that my footwork bar is in place, I have my spring setting ready to go. I'm going to be taking the same ball I was using earlier and placing it between my ankles. Coming down to the reformer, place the ball between the ankles here. I'm just going right above that little ankle notch. And that's my prop for my footwork. Once you're down on the mat surface, I'm starting with my heels on the bar. If you want your head rest up, you can definitely do that now. I want to make sure that my knees are just over my hips and I've got my toes and my ankles parallel. There's a light squeeze on the ball, which is going to give me a lot of connection through my legs into my trunk and pelvic floor. Arms by the side. Before we get started, let's take a nice big inhale through the nose. And then exhaling all your air. Settling in to the supine position. We're going to breathe in again. As we breathe out, gently push through the feet. Go for the ride for your footwork. Inhale back and in, gently returning the carriage. Exhale out. So as we start with the parallel heel position, we have the ball squeezing. We're just thinking of keeping our knees from rolling in, but we have some effort through the midline of the body. In other words, your inner thighs are still working here as you're pressing out. Inhaling back. Let's go for 5. Soft and slow. Notice the control of your carriage. 4. And 3. And 2. and 1. Come all the way back and in. You're going to pause right here. Take a moment. Notice your pelvis stays in that neutral position, and we're not holding on to any tension through the abdominals or through the spine. From this position, I'm going to transfer to my toe boxes. So with the ankles, you don't want to go super high in this position. We want to make sure that we can maintain an ankle position that's relatively in the middle of the low and the super high. So I'm going to come down just a little bit from my high position, still thinking of a squeeze on the ball. Again, breathing in first. And here we go. It's an exhale to push all the way out, gently coming in. Now that ball is going to give us some feedback today. So we have a little bit more effort here to keep that parallel position of our feet, parallel position of the ankles and the knees. Pushing out. 2, inhale. Exhale, 5. And inhale. Exhale, 6. And inhale. Exhale, 7. And inhale. Breathing out, using the center of the foot. We have 2 more. Pushing out and in, and 1 more. Coming back. Nice job. Let's pause for a moment. So those are 2 positions with the ball where it is. I'm going to keep the ball exactly here for 1 more position with you. What we're going to do is just calf raises. Now, I know that with the ball, we want to make sure that we're not squeezing it too tight so we don't have that rolling inward. So keep yourself parallel. As we push out, let's go ahead and breathe out. We're going to inhale, dip both heels under the bar. Exhale, lift 1. Inhale, lower. Exhale, 2. And just notice here, there's a little bit of that squeeze throughout the ball as you go into these dips for the ankle. Lifting and lowering. We got 5 more. And inhale. And inhale. And down. Last 2. Feeling those calves. Indeed. 1 more time. Very nice. So the whole point of all this footwork in Pilates is really to develop ankle stability. You're trying to keep a steady foot position as we go through our series. And the ball is just a great prop just to help us connect to different positions. Now what I want you to do is take the ball to the side. We are now in a frog stance. So if I take a peek up here, I've got my heels together, knees about as wide as my own shoulders, and I'm going to think about zipping up those heels as I press out. So I'm going to lift my heels up high, drop a little bit down from there, keep the ankle position, and as I go out, it's an exhale, 2 inhale, and exhale, 2 inhale. So there is definitely an active squeeze again of the midline for the frog position. And we're getting a little bit of that hip rotation through here. Pushing out, coming in, zipping up, coming in. We have 4 more. 2 inhale, 3, and inhale. 2, and inhale, and 1, and return. Nice job. Excellent. Let's go ahead and give our legs a little bit of a break if you would like to extend them over the bar. 1 at a time, you can point and flex the feet. Take a moment here. And since you are a beginner, just check in with your ankles, check in with your feet. Make sure you're still feeling good through the process. Excellent. Now we're going to take this into a wider stance. So I'm coming to the corners of my bar. Your bar might be a little bit of a different design. Make sure your feet are on the top part of the bar. There is a turnout here. So I've got the knees turned out, the heels on the bar, toes are out as well. As you push out, let's go ahead and breathe again. Exhale, push. Inhale in. Exhale, 2. Inhale in. Exhale, 3. Inhale in. 4. And just think of this nice wide stance, right? We're pushing through, really feeling the strong position through the legs. And in. Let's go for 5 more. Exhale, 2, inhale. Exhale, 2, inhale. Last 3, push. And 2. And 1. Excellent job. Let's pause right here. We're going to transfer to the toes. We're still in the wide position here. So again, we're at the high position of the heel. I'm going to drop down just a little bit to find just a little bit more of that controlled stance. From here, I'm going to go out, exhale, 2, inhale. Pushing 2, 2, inhale. More calf, indeed. 3, and inhale. Keep your pelvis neutral. And inhale. Exhale, 5, and inhale. 6, and inhale. 7, inhale. Exhale, 8, and 9. One more time. Big exhale here. Gently come in. Let's pause for a moment. Excellent job. Now, if you have taken your headrest up, let's go ahead and flatten it. Mine is already nice and flat. I'm now going to grab that ball that was by the side here. I'm just going to stick this guy right back onto inner thigh position between the knees. From this position, I'm going to keep my foot bar with all of that heavy spring from my footwork. And I'm just going to use it as a tool. So I've got my feet propped up. I've got a little squeeze on the ball. From here, let's go ahead and just check in with the pelvic position. We want to make sure that our pubic bone is in line with our hip crest. And that gives us a true understanding of what neutral feels like. So you can make a little triangle with your hands like that. You can feel for yourself. Are your hip bones higher than your pubic bone, or are we tucking and imprinting the spine? We want to come just in between that. Excellent. From that position, we're going to go ahead and just lightly hold onto the shoulder blocks here with your hands or the reformer. It's up to you. Draw the legs to tabletop, connect the feet, and keep that neutral pelvis. From here, take the legs over as you inhale towards the left. Supine spine twist. Exhale back at your center. Now, you are on a surface different than the mat. It's the mat exercise. Come towards the right, inhale, exhale back. However, you want to make sure that you're not lifting your shoulders off that mat surface. So the amount of effort through the arms is minimal, but the amount of awareness where you have your shoulders connected, you want to really focus on that. The lumbar rocks over on one hip. You gently come back to your center. We're trying to utilize the obliques here. Inhaling and exhaling. And inhale, 2, exhale. Keep going. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Across to one hip, and just notice all that control you're developing through the shoulders, all the way down to your side. It's an inhale and exhale. And last one, and center. Good job. Let's go ahead and just give the knees a little bit of a breather. We can shake the legs out for a moment. So that exercise is great for just developing more of that awareness of keeping that neutral position when you come back to center with each repetition. Now we'll place the ball back where it was. This time, arms are long. We're going to do a foot elevated bridge. So I'm going to push through the arches of each foot. I'm going to start in my neutral pelvis. As I tuck my pelvis and I imprint my spine, that's the beginning of my bridge. I start to slowly come up into my bridge, hold at the top, and just like a wave, go slow through your spine, one vertebra at a time, all the way down, and then release your tail. Take a breather in first. As you exhale, gentle squeeze on ball, tucking pelvis, lifting up for your second bridge. Squeezing on the ball, gently releasing through the spine. So we are doing spine articulation. Think of a wave. From the bottom of your spine, we tuck, we peel each piece up, we wave the spine up, hold, and then roll back down and create that wave the other direction. So a great way to add more control to your spine, more control to your body, and again, building that awareness. And rolling down. Now the breath pattern, we can inhale at the bottom, exhale to pull up through that spine, inhale at the top, and then exhaling back and down. Beautiful. We'll go for 4 more here. Breathing in, squeezing the ball, rolling up, breathing in, and gently rolling down. Last 3, think about a little bit of effort through the feet. Use the feet on the bar. Really establishing that hip connection, that glute connection. We got 2 more. Slowly rolling up. Feeling that and rolling back and down. And just practicing spine articulation. It feels really good in the back. Lifting through and then rolling all the way back and down. Excellent job. Wonderful. Let's go ahead and bring the ball to the side. We can gently pull the knees in towards our chest for a moment here. Good job. All right, let's go ahead and come on off to the side. We'll be changing our spring tension. All right, so we're gonna be moving on from here. Let's go ahead and remove all springs except a red. So that is just a medium spring for some of you and your reformers that you have at home. We're gonna be here in a standing position. I wanna make sure that my foot is in line with my foot bar. My hands are on top of the foot bar. My knees on the bed for my lunge, and my foot is on my shoulder block. From here, I'm thinking of my chest staying lifted as I think about pushing back with that rear leg. So I'm not trying to collapse right away into this position. I'm thinking of keeping an elevated chest and just a little bit more of this pushing back and drive to my rear leg. That's going to give me a lot of stretch back here on this rear thigh and then engaging through the glute behind me. So just feeling that for a moment. Use the arms, use this leg to stabilize you. And if you're someone who is often tight in your hip flexors, this is a great place to begin a little bit of that stretching and introduce it for yourself. We'll just hold 1 more breath. Gently come back and in. Good, we'll do that 1 more time. So roughly a 5 breath hold. Let's take that back again. Come to the same position. Think of the chest being elevated, a little bit of pressure into the bar. Breathing here. Fully exhaling. Again, breathing again. And exhaling. And just feeling your body start to release a little bit more as you hold this position. Feels really good. We'll go 1 more breath. And gently return the carriage back in. Good, nice job. Let's go ahead and do the other side. For this side, let's go ahead and place our hands on top of the bar. Foot is on the shoulder block, knee is on the bed. Take it to what feels good for this side. Pay attention to your body and your form. Shoulders are facing forward, hips are facing forward, knee here, right over the ankle. Just holding that position and breathing. Really feeling a good stretch to the back of the leg here. Remember, it's about a 5 breath hold. Just giving yourself a little bit of that time to feel it. Keeping everything aligned. Just feeling that position. We'll go 2 more breaths right here. And 1 more breath. We'll gently come in. We'll set up again One more time for this side. So as we push back, we hold the position. It might feel a little bit different the second time. We're breathing here. Fully exhaling. And again, we inhale and exhale. We got 3 more breaths. Keep a little bit of a squeeze if you can on the rear glute. 2 more breaths. And then just 1 more breath right here. Gently come all the way back and in. Nice job. Okay. So what I'd love for you to do is just keep the red spring connected. Now, if you want a little bit more support, you're more than welcome to add more spring, but that should be okay for those of you that are beginners. We're going to be using our ball again, and this time we'll be facing the end of your reformer. So you will be seated position. The ball is going to live between the knees, and it's just going to provide a little bit of squeeze. Now my feet are placed here on my headrest. If that's not comfortable for you, you can scooch back a little bit to give your legs some more room. Make sure that you have some space behind you on your mat surface. So as I scoot forward here, I've got about a hand width. That should be sufficient for what we're doing. Okay, let's go ahead and grab our straps. And what we're trying to achieve here is just a little bit more of the spine flexion. So teaching us how to tuck the lumbar and articulate the lower back and talk to the front of the abs, okay? So let's go ahead and grab above my loop. So my ropes are nice and tight. My arms are relaxed and long. Now, as I gently squeeze the ball from this tall seated position, I'm going to slowly roll the spine down. Nice and slow. Now, how far am I going down is really determined by the strength in the core and if I can really tuck my pelvis. So right here is about good for me. I'm going to add the squeeze on the ball, take a moment, and then as I roll back up, I roll one piece at a time all the way to my sit bones. Take a moment here, breathing in. As I exhale, I squeeze the ball. I roll down slow, just that same position, holding here. And then my next exhale, I will come all the way up nice and tall. So basically, it's a seated C curve. We're going with the help of the arms from the straps here, from the ropes. I roll into my C curve. I use that support system from the ball, breathing in, and I exhale and I roll back and up. Good, let's continue. Squeeze on the ball, exhaling to roll down. Holding here, and then softly rolling back and up. Let's go a couple more. Just take it slow. If you're feeling super tight in your back, it doesn't have to be a big position. Holding at the bottom and rolling to the top. Beautiful. Should be feeling that center as well as using the ball here to help you feel that. And gently coming all the way back to this seated position. Nice job. Now from here, what we're going to do is take the ball to the side. We want to make sure that we can either keep the knees apart, which is okay, or if you're more comfortable with them together, that's fine as well. See if you can scooch forward about an inch more so you have more space behind you. We're going to hold on again above those straps here. Arms are long. Now, if my knees are a little closer together, I'm able to get taller and then roll into that C curve. I can hold. Take a moment. I want you to feel it here. Can you hold the C curve? Can you really feel that seat belt, that lower abdominal wall kick in? What we're going to do together is just breathing out as we draw the right leg up. Inhale, replace. Left side, breathing out. Inhale, replace. Just notice that what's really working is holding your center, right? So I'm not rocking my body. I'm really keeping everything quiet as I draw the leg in and I replace it. And this builds up. This is no joke. It doesn't look like a lot, but for those of you that are beginners, you want to make sure that you can really feel that control starting to happen, starting to build. Let's do one more each side. We've got it. And your last one right here. Beautiful job. Let's roll the spine all the way up and pause at the top. We're going to place our straps back where they live. And now what you're going to do is just transfer into a mermaid position. So this right here is our mermaid. I've got my front shin folded. I've got my other shin up against my blocks. And this is going to give me this little bit of external hip rotation, a little bit of the internal hip rotation as I do a lateral stretch. First thing you're going to do is keep your red spring. Hand is in the middle, other hand is out long. I'm going to think about moving between two planes of glass right here in a side reach. I'm going to go over as I push into the bar, letter T. I continue my inhale overhead. I exhale back, all the way back and in. So with your awareness, think about your arms not traveling forward. You're trying to keep it in line with your head and your ear, and you're gently pushing off that standing arm, coming all the way back and down. And then continue. It's big breath in. And exhaling back. We'll go for one more breath right here. It's big breath in. And then exhaling back. Now here's a bonus. To get more trunk rotation and a beautiful stretch, go ahead and continue this arm overhead into a grip on the bar. So we keep coming up, 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 and then we rotate. We're gonna grab the bar with that free hand. The other hand can widen. And now my chest faces the springs and I'm rotated in my trunk. I'm gonna pull with the hand that just got there. I'm gonna push with the opposite hand as I look down at my springs. Now what that gives me is a beautiful stretch across this whole side of my back into my shoulder. So I'm holding this position, I'm breathing, and I'm really enjoying this beautiful trunk rotation. In through the nose, out through the mouth. We'll go with one more, in through the nose and out through the mouth. Nice. Now to come out of this, I like to leave my arms on the bar gently as I lift my spine up. So now I'm just adding a little bit of this extension through the spine while I'm in that rotation, just holding here. Nice. Good. Bend your elbows gently. We're going to do the same mermaid on the other side. Let's go ahead and transfer. So it's the same position that you just had. And from here, we're really thinking of, again, aligning our top arm with our ear, our other arm in the center. We're going to reach up as we inhale, continue overhead, and then exhaling back. And again, we inhale. Really reaching through the rib cage here and exhaling. Good. Let's continue. Inhale and exhale. Keep going. We're reaching overhead. Really stretching through that side body and gently pushing into that arm on the bar. Beautiful. Now this time we're going to continue that stretch all the way to the bar. Reach overhead. Let's rotate. Let's anchor through. We're going to widen where our arms are here. I'm going to pull with the arm that just arrived, push with the opposite. As I look down to my spring wall, I get a really juicy stretch across the back. Again, breathing in and exhale. Breathing in and exhale. Keep going, keep holding, enjoying the stretch through the spine. And again, inhale and exhale. Gently travel through the arms, lifting up through the center, opening here, keeping the collarbones wide and enjoying the stretch, a little bit of extension. Nice Nice job. Come all the way in. Let's go ahead and rotate all the way back and through to the side here. Okay, so next position I want to take you in is just basically a tiny little seated series. This is going to give you an idea of what the short box feels like, that whole series with the abdominals. And this can be done as part of a warm-up, but I like to do it a little bit intermittently as I go into my reformer work here. So I'm on the edge of my bed. I'm just going to squeeze on the ball here and just try to create this hug. There is energy all the way down to my feet, so I'm really grounding through my lower body. We're going to come back to that same C curve we made seated on the reformer, but we're going to do it from this position. Squeeze on the ball, arms out long. As I roll that spine, think of that control again. So we're C curving through the abdominals. We're holding here. And then rolling through to the top. Breathing in. And squeeze the ball, rolling back. Breathing in. Rolling back and up. So really feeling that same breath pattern. Inhale at the top. Exhale the air as you create this scoop. Inhale at the bottom. And then exhaling back. We'll go for 2 more here. And rolling back, holding. And rolling to the top. Good. Let's do 1 more together. Rolling down. Take a deep breath. And rolling back and up. Beautiful. Now that's our C curve. Now if we are nice and stable down at the bottom part of the body, we've got this nice squeeze, we're going to do a flat back. The flat back is really small. Some of you might want to lean way back there, but it's going to be harder for you to get back up. And because we don't have our safety strap like we would for the short box series on the reformer, normal style, this introductory part, we just want to go really small and soft. So what I'm going to do is interlace behind my head. I'm going to lift my spine up first. I'm going to pull my rib cage in, so get nice and tight through your center. Squeeze your glutes and then just hinge back 2 inches. It's hard. We're going to hold 1, 2, and then come back and up. Good. This breath pattern, we can inhale back. We can exhale forward. So just by doing that, we're engaging the front of our core as well as our back extensors. So it's just a tiny little tilt of our body, a couple inches. Inhale and exhale. Good. Keep going. Inhale and exhale. Let's go for 2 more. It's tiny. It's just a little intro. So you can start to feel that front and back connection. Woo, very nice. Excellent job. Okay, let's move on to some arm work. We'll be using the long box, so let's go ahead and add that. And we'll be doing a blue spring. So go ahead and remove your red, and we'll be adding a blue. Next up, we'll be doing some arm work on the long box. I have a blue spring attached. If you have the Allegro too and you want more spring, take that blue spring, reach up for the 2nd level, and that will get you that little row of buttons to get a little bit more spring tension. I'll be using the blue. Let's go ahead and take a seat. And you're sitting in the middle of the box. Let's go ahead and grab our straps. I'll be using my inside loops with this Allegro 2 reformer because they're just in line with my knee position. So that's what I'm looking for here. Reaching down for the ground, getting nice and tall. As you push back, think of your chest expansion exercise here where you remain tall. There's no rounding in the back or kind of fighting the shoulders. Lifting through the sternum, pulling the rib cage in, think of the spine staying long, and then gently coming forward. So it's an exhale to inhale. And when I do this exercise, I like to keep my eyes high, as you can see. So I'm looking at the top of my tower. That just helps me stay long in the spine. So I am also thinking of lengthening as I pull the arms behind me and pushing back and in. We have 3 more. Tall spine. And 2. and 1. Let's take a break here. Roll your shoulders. Take a moment. With the springs that you already have, which is the blue spring, we're going to pause for a second. With your palms, let's go ahead and take the palms to face up. Now, because you're in the middle of the box, this should be okay for you. If you need more tension, scoot backwards. From here, palms are up. I'm going to go into a bicep curl. Exhale to pull in, squeeze, inhale forward. Now, think of your shoulders. Stay away from your ears as you perform these. So there's no hiking up by the ears here. We're just focusing on stabilizing that shoulder. And forward. Exhale. And just notice how fluid this motion feels. Every time you squeeze, we feel the bicep and we gently release forward. Feels really good, but we're working. We can feel that. Couple more here, squeezing to lengthen. 1 more right here. Exhale and lengthen. Nice job. Next position, we're going to be above the loops. So depending on your reformer, you might be holding the tape. I'm holding my just ropes here with the knots. So I'm going to think about palms facing in. As I exhale, I'm going to roll my body through. I'm thinking of elbows behind me and really proud in my chest. So feel that mid-back. Gently come forward. Exhale, squeeze to pull back. Inhaling forward. And pulling your trunk through your arms. Inhaling back. Pulling back. Inhaling forward. Squeezing. And inhale. Keep going, squeezing back. Notice your spine. Notice your gaze. Keep everything nice and tall as you move those arms behind you for 5 and lengthen. Exhale, 4, lengthen. Exhale, 3, breathing, 2. We got 1 more right here. It's an exhale and squeeze. Nice job. Okay, so those movements are great for the upper body. We did some biceps, some tricep, and a little bit of the middle part of our back for those rows. Great introductory series. Place our straps back down. Now what I'm going to do is come off to the side and take my foot bar completely flat. I'm going to leave my blue spring, but now I have this nice flat surface to work with the box. With my position, I'm going to be face down, facing the end of my reformer here, doing some prone work. So for some of you that are new to doing face down on the box, a golden rule is just the edge of the box should live just at the bottom of your bra line so that you're comfortable. And then your pelvis and your pubic bone can very gently push into the box to prevent some of that extra lordosis in your back. So we want to make sure that we feel comfortable with that. Place your hands on the corners, gently climb on. And we're going to make sure, again, we're at that alignment with the box. So it's right here for my bra line. And then my pubic bone and my hips are just going to gently push into the surface. From that position, I'm going to go ahead and grip onto my small loops on the inside. And my palms are going to be starting facing back. So right here, I'm reaching for the ground with my fingertips. For this exercise, as I pull my arms, go nice and slow, think about elevating through your chest. So I think of hovering my sternum. The arms are by my side. I am reaching towards my toes and then gently coming back. So I know this exercise is tough, okay? I know it's a beginner exercise, pulling straps 1. But when we pull the arms back, we're thinking of this lift of the chest, and that's the hardest part, I believe, and rolling back and down. So what's going to help you is your inhale. Let's inhale, lift, rise, exhale back. Inhale, lift. Exhale back. And just making sure that you're really feeling this length in your body versus a crunch in your back. You want to feel that the head is leading you forward. The toes are reaching, the fingers are reaching all the way back. Good, let's continue. Lifting up, softly coming up, reaching the arms and back. And again, lifting 2, up and back. Definitely want to feel that length. Try to roll the shoulders. We got 2 more right here. Lifting up and back. One more time. And return. Nice job. So there's a whole series you can do laying flat on your box. But for today's class, that's a great one to practice. Just really focusing on using that surface and trying to get that little bit of hover and elevation off the box. Now let's go ahead and remove our box. We'll be adding our foot bar back. And we will be doing some hip work to finish. So with your body, let's go ahead. We'll be laying down, 1 red, 1 blue. So just add a regular blue if you changed it from earlier. And a red spring. Coming all the way down to our back. Let's lay down here. Checking in with our pelvis. Checking in with that neutral from earlier. And then we're going to be placing our loops over our feet. To do that, go ahead and hold them. Gently push out. We're going to be threading 1 foot at a time into our loops. And I like to just keep that knee bent as I transfer into the other leg. So this is my start. I'm going to come to my frog position, heels together, knees apart. And what I'm thinking of is pushing my frog up and out. So I'm going out and then coming in. And just keeping the squeeze of our heels as we go here. And exhale. 2, inhale. And exhale. 2, inhale. And here's 5, squeezing heels. Finding that midline again from earlier. 6, and in. Exhale, 7, and in. Exhale, 8, and in. Okay, now it's time for the circles. So for beginners, try not to go so big that your hips rock and roll. I want you to maintain the neutral that we found today in class. We're going to go ahead and extend the legs up, soft knees. There's a turnout in the feet. Keep your neutral pelvis, pushing down to about here. Feel the tension in your straps. Then coming out to the side, controlling your circle all the way at the top. So we close it down again, 2. We reach out, but we comfortably feel that control. Coming down, 3. We reach out, coming back. Down, 4. Reach out, coming back. Down, 5. Keep your knees soft. You don't want to force anything through the hamstrings. Forcing any lifting here and keeping your pelvis down. And pushing away and around. Let's do 1 more in that direction. And around. Good. Let's reverse it. Take it out to side, squeezing down, lifting up through center. Exhaling out, pulling around, inhaling up. And 3. Inhale. And 4. 2. Inhale. And 5. Inhale. Keep going. Exhale around. Inhaling up. Last 2. Making that circle. 1 more time right here. And all the way to the top. All right. Take those off. Let's go ahead and take off 1 at a time. Slowly find the foot bar. Place these back where they live. And we'll come off to the side. Great job. Thank you so much for joining me for today's Beginners Reformer Workout. If you have questions or comments about the exercises, go ahead and drop those in the comment box below. make sure that you check the description for more information. I do have more info about how to get an Allegro 2 like this if you guys want to upgrade your current reformer or your studio and get 5% off from Balanced Body. The link is below in the information for that. And if you guys have different requests for other videos, if you have questions about other exercises, please let me know. I've been doing Pilates for 20 years, so I'm just slowly adding to this channel, and I'm happy to help each of you along your journey. All right, you guys, I hope all is well. Enjoy the rest of your day, and I'll see you next time.